If you're a recent graduate and you're staring into the void of the job market, feeling like you're just shouting and nobody's listening, you're not alone, and you are definitely not imagining it. There's this anxiety out there that you can almost touch, and honestly, it's for a very good reason. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise, look at the actual data, and figure out what's really going on here.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a story that, well, it says it all. This is from Caitlin, a recent university grad. 647 applications. Seriously, just let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just a tough market. This is a whole different level of brutal. It's literally a full-time job just trying to find a job. And Caitlin's story is the perfect, painful snapshot of the struggle.
And this feeling, this struggle, it isn't just a few stories here and there. The numbers are here to back it up. 5.3%. That is the unemployment rate right now for recent college graduates. And behind that number are thousands upon thousands of people who did everything they were supposed to do, only to hit a complete brick wall. Now here's where it gets really fascinating, and frankly a little shocking. For the first time ever, the unemployment rate for new graduates is actually higher than the national average for everybody else. I mean, think about that. This has never happened before. It completely flips the script on the promise we've all been sold our whole lives, that a degree is your golden ticket to better job security. Well, right now, that ticket isn't cashing in like it used to.
So what on earth is causing all this? Well, it's not just one thing. It's more like a perfect storm, a convergence of three huge forces or headwinds, all hitting the entry-level market at the exact same time. Let's break down each one.
First up, the big one, the one everyone is talking about. Artificial intelligence. And we're not talking about some sci-fi movie concept here. For people like Andrew Cole, a creative professional, this is a daily reality. He's talking about that entry-level creative work, writing marketing copy, making social media posts, basic design work, the very jobs graduates used to cut their teeth on. Those roles are being automated or just devalued at an incredible speed.
And just look at how fast this is moving. Back in 2023, that Goldman Sachs report felt like this distant forecast, 300 million jobs way off in the future. A year later, the CEO of Anthropic, a huge AI company, puts this terrifyingly specific timeline on it. Half of entry-level white-collar jobs could be gone in 5 years. And now in 2025, it's not a prediction, it's happening. Major tech companies are openly skipping junior developer hires because they can automate the basic coding they used to do. It's like the bottom rung of the ladder is being sawed off right in front of us.
So this leads to this weird paradox that's probably driving you crazy if you're applying for jobs right now. If hiring is so bad, why does it look like every job site is booming? You go on LinkedIn and it feels like there are millions of jobs, but you apply and it's just crickets. What is going on?
Well, the incredibly frustrating answer is something called ghost jobs. These are job postings that are basically a mirage. The position might already be filled, or the company has no real intention of hiring for it, or maybe it never even existed in the first place. You're spending hours, literally hours, crafting the perfect application for a job that isn't even real. And this chart, wow, it really breaks down the cynical reasons companies are doing this. And it's usually about internal mind games, not actually hiring someone. The number one reason? To make their current employees feel replaceable so they won't ask for a raise. Another big one is to calm down an overworked team by making them think help is on the way. It's a strategy to manage their own staff, and it's all at your expense.
The third and final headwind is really the end of an era. Remember the Great Resignation? Well, that's over. It's been replaced with what you could call the Great Stay. With all the economic uncertainty, people are just clinging to the jobs they have. And can you blame them? The data's right there. The pay bump you used to get for switching jobs has pretty much vanished. That means fewer people are leaving, so fewer jobs are opening up for new graduates to fill. The whole pipeline is just clogged.
Okay, so that's the bad news. It's a perfect storm out there. But this is where the story gets really, really interesting. Because when you're faced with a system that seems totally broken, a whole generation isn't just sitting around waiting for it to be fixed. Nope. They are actively and creatively rewriting the entire career playbook.
And this table just captures the huge shift perfectly. The old playbook, right, it was linear. Get your degree, get a good white-collar job, climb that corporate ladder. The new playbook is completely different. It values tangible skills that AI can't touch. Think electricians, plumbers, welders. It puts entrepreneurship way above corporate loyalty. And it's not about fighting AI, it's about knowing how to use it. Agility has totally replaced stability as the main goal. And if you think that sounds like some wild theory, just listen to this. This quote comes from Geoffrey Hinton, one of the literal godfathers of AI. The guy who helped create this disruption is now telling young people that being a plumber is a fantastic career choice. Why? Because it's a complex physical skill that a robot can't easily do. The irony is just incredible, right?
And this isn't just some expert opinion either. It's how people are actually feeling. Check out this staggering statistic. Today, only 22% of adults in the US think a 4-year degree is worth the insane cost. That is a massive vote of no confidence in the old path. People are realizing that the return on investment just isn't a sure thing anymore.
So what do you do when the doors to the old system are closed? You build your own door. And that is exactly what's happening. This chart shows that the 18 to 24 age group is now the fastest growing group of new entrepreneurs. These are digital natives who are already kind of fed up with the corporate world before they even get there. So instead of fighting for scraps, they're just creating their own opportunities. They're turning this crisis into a launchpad.
And if you want the perfect case study for this new mindset, look at this guy, Roy Lee. He gets kicked out of an Ivy League school for building an AI tool to cheat. Okay, the old playbook says his life is basically over. But the new playbook, he takes that exact same tech, pivots, and turns it into a real startup. And within weeks, he's raised millions of dollars. He didn't just adapt to the new rules. He broke the old ones and wrote his own.
So after walking through all the chaos of the headwinds and seeing the creativity of the response, what does this all mean for you? What should you actually be focusing on to navigate this completely new world?
Well, it's about a total shift in what we think of as valuable. The old currency was a diploma from a good school. The new currencies are totally different. First, you've got time. You're young, you have the runway to learn and pivot, maybe multiple times. Second is adaptability. Your ability to pick up a new skill, whether that's a trade or getting good at AI, is so much more valuable than a static degree. And finally, creativity, that uniquely human spark of combining ideas in new ways. That's the one thing that can't be automated.
And that leaves us with this final, kind of mind-bending thought to chew on. We're in this strange loop, right? Students are using AI to help them get degrees so they can get jobs that are themselves being threatened with replacement by AI. It's this weird cycle that forces us to ask a really deep question. If the old path is broken, then what's the point of the journey? And where should we all be heading instead?